Ever wondered how a slaughterhouse designs the tracks that it takes its animals on? I personally haven't ever really wondered that, but I am part of a meats inspection team, and we were given an opportunity to listen to a professional in the field talk about how she designs the tracks for their animals. One day, a while ago, one of the advisors from the Moberly FFA chapter offered me and all the other members of the meats inspection team and any officers who were interested in going to go see someone named Temple Grandin speak. We all arrived after school one day, met up, and we got together and drove off to Montgomery City, which is where this presentation was going to be given. It was a long car ride, and we had to make a few stops. But when we got there, we were a little late, but we didn't miss Temple Grandin speak, and that's what we actually came for. We got there, sat down in the back of the room because there wasn't much room for everyone, and we had 8 people with us. And as soon as we got settled in, they had the complimentary meal they were offering to us finished, so we ate as soon as we got there. After we were finished eating, Temple Grandin came up to the floor, and she began her presentation over how she thinks like an animal to make slaughterhouses as stressless as possible for these animals. She says what makes her different compared to other people who do this is the fact that she goes through and looks at things like the animals would. She says that this is apparently a pretty rare thing because most of the time the problems are things like a worker has a fan going and it's blowing out where the animals are walking and they don't know where it's coming from and it scares them. She says another thing that is a problem pretty frequently is the fact that they make the paths too narrow because animals like cows and pigs like to be able to stay close together. They don't really like being single file too much because it gets rid of some of the group mentality so they don't feel as safe being in a new and strange place. Another problem is flooring. The transition from, say, like dirt to metal can be strange for animals and scare them. As well as lighting, that's a big problem because someone will open a window or something and animals will be afraid of it because they don't know where they are and they hear all these noises. She says that it's strange that no one else can think of these things and yet it's so natural for her. But she also says it's probably because she has autism. She says that is a big reason that she's as good as what she does as she is. She believes that you can do a lot, but being a little autistic offers a different point of view in many situations, and she is almost proud of that because it's allowed her to do so much in life, in her opinion. After she gave the speech over this stuff, she talked about some of the farm equipment she's helped make, such as like devices to pick up cows and move them, and things to stop cows from moving away from the entrance to a slaughterhouse. She also allowed us to ask questions if we had any. Most of the questions were things such as how to get a certain breed of cow based off of what you have, things that didn't really pertain to what the speech was about, but she's an expert on meats in general, so she knew what she was talking about. My FFA advisor asked a question about having animals in school because Temple Grandin is an advocate for this, and she asked if it might be able to cause a problem in the school place. And Temple Grandin said that there might be a problem with allergies, but if the students aren't allergic and the animals are nice and the students don't mess with the animals, it's a good thing to have in class because it'll offer the students a way to calm down if they're getting nervous over a test or something. And because of that, my advisor is currently trying to pass something to allow animals in school, in the class. After questions were over, we all got an opportunity to talk to Temple Grandin one-on-one, but there was a long line, so I didn't get to talk to her, but my advisor and a few other people who went with me stood in a line. They bought her book, had her sign it, and just talked to her. I got to know her because while I didn't know her very much, she's apparently pretty popular, and a lot of people were pretty impressed to get to meet her. After the presentation, we got back in the cars and headed back for a long car ride in the middle of the night. And when we arrived back at the school, we talked a little bit about what we learned And while a lot of it wasn't really about the meats team stuff that I went for, I did learn some interesting things about how meat production works, and I think that really helped me conceptualize how common it is that meat isn't easy to get. Like, you go to the store and you see meat on the shelf, and sometimes people don't really think about the fact that that came from an animal and that the animal had to be killed for that. Some people think of it just as like a fruit or vegetable that was grown somewhere, but these are animals, and they do think, and they do get stressed. And I think that really helped me to want to learn more about meats and how to identify them.